Hey guys, it's a Patient Hodler coming at you with another video, and in this one we are going to cover a few different but important topics. We are going to start off with a little reassessment of 2 points of my ECOMI roadmap for 2022, because some of you guys have given some very important input that I want to bring out and reassess a little bit here for you. The second point will be that ECOMI Veve has made the national news in a specific country, as you can see already here in my background. And the last part will be a concern about the current drop system and how users are welcomed in the app. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor, but not a financial advisor. So please do your own research before you ape full retard into ECOMI. Also, please give this video a like if you enjoy it, subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you think about these different topics in the comments below. Now, in my last video, I have shown you this roadmap, and if you have seen the last one, you see that I have rearranged the roadmap a little bit because of your input. If you haven't seen the roadmap video, go back and watch it again, because I'm not going to lay out the whole roadmap here. But as you can see, the exchanges have moved from the middle of this curve right to after Immutable X phase 3. This doesn't mean that they have to have necessarily come directly in the next few weeks, but as some commentators pointed out correctly, there is no point in not assuming the first exchanges after the conclusion of phase 3. And we have an AMA announced for tomorrow, and this could already be the point where a specific date for the conclusion of phase 3 is announced, turning ECOMI into an ERC20 compatible token. So as some of you have pointed out, besides some uncertainty that always remains, there is no reason why the exchanges shouldn't be coming right after the phase 3 completion, because then technically it's only a standard procedure for those exchanges to list ECOMI. And as we have pointed out in the last video, these exchanges are eager to list ECOMI on their roadmap. Now, the second point that some of you have outlined in the comments section is that buying ECOMI in the app could be a problem, and that it was mentioned in the AMA that it shouldn't come because of KYC or security problems. And I don't know if I am mistaken or if I got that wrong, but I will still put my point out here. I think it was only a problem for now because David, you said in the AMA that they wouldn't implement KYC for the Veve app because it's an entry barrier for a lot of people, but at some point they have to do it anyways, because I think the moment that you have MTL, so the money transfer license implemented where you can trade gems back to fiat, you would have to do KYC anyways, and then you wouldn't have that problem anymore for the implementation of buying ECOMI in the app. And as I've pointed out in the last video, this would be a massive catalyst for ECOMI, because this would basically jump an exchange. But maybe I'm mistaken here, and maybe this will never come. But I think if it comes, it's a big deal. If it doesn't come, we have still all the other exchanges to get it out there. So as you have seen in the beginning of the video, I have a tweet up here from Comics and Crypto Podcast. And in this tweet, it basically says that Veve has made the national news in New Zealand. And before we are going into the video, I already want to point out that New Zealand has 5 million inhabitants. And according to this tweet of Omi the Clown, at the moment of the user demographics, New Zealand still has a fairly low percentage, obviously, because it's a small country compared with the US. But I think there's also a lot of potential. These demographic numbers are from the ECOMI Wiki app from Omi the Clown. So first of all, check that out. Second, follow him. And third point here is that this is not representative, especially for the app, but it can give us a glimpse of how many users might be in the app compared to how many users are using the ECOMI Wiki. So the percentage should be right. The numbers are obviously way lower because not so many people know the ECOMI Wiki yet. But I think there is a lot of potential by this news video from New Zealand. So I've looked up quickly the weekly users of the national New Zealand news, and this is around 626,000. Now, I don't know exactly if that TV and that show is the one that really all of them watch, but even if you reach 40 to 50,000 with this and then show it around Twitter with another potential, this could be massive and onboard like thousands of users in a single day. But let's look at it and let's see.
Digital assets that represent real-world objects. As Kristen Hall reports, one Kiwi company has already turned the trend into a billion-dollar business.
To the uninitiated, the world of NFTs might sound a bit overwhelming.
I was originally into crypto.
Just to point that out here, they have shown the DeLorean, the Ultraman statues, and the Batman. So I think it's pretty cool to see which items or which NFT collectibles they already choose to represent or to show what it is.
A little bit, buying some coins here, and then a friend rang me up and says, hey look, there's a new site, it's called Veve, go there and buy yourself a couple of Batmans, you won't regret it.
But it's simpler than it sounds.
It's sort of just a new form of collectibles. I mean, it's a bit like in the old days when people had baseball cards and things. You will pay a lot more for one because there may only be one of them there.
An NFT, or non-fungible token, is a digital asset that represents real-world objects like art, music and videos. They're bought and sold.
I disagree a little bit on that term always, that it's digital but representing real life assets. I would rather say they are, as the woman before said, a new form of collectible and therefore assets, digital assets on their own, not necessarily a representation of a physical one.
Online and have a unique digital code.
We even show you their entire trading history, so you can see every owner.
And it's big business. To date, the most expensive NFT sold, a collection of 5,000 digital images, went for $69 million at London Auction House.
This is crazy. If we just see that this pixel junction of 5,000 NFTs sold for $69 million. And if we look at the quality of this and the quality of the collectibles within the Veve app, we can already get a notion of what we got in early too, in my opinion. And I think it's very, very bullish to see that.
Christie's. Even Nike started selling virtual sneakers through its new NFT platform.
Value isn't the eye of the beholder, so it's just another thing people are willing to pay.
New Zealanders are in on the action too. Kiwi company Veve launched its NFT app at the start of 2021.
We've sold 2.8 million editions since January, growing to like 1.3 million active users.
It allows users to trade, buy and sell, and we'll be generating over $1 billion revenue in the calendar year coming.
They've collaborated with the like.
So I think this is very important to see that they are going to be generating 1 billion in the calendar year coming. First of all, 1 billion is a lot. This is way more than other companies factor in the double of the time. But I think it's also important to note that the outlook of David Yu and team was for the last year, how many users they are going to onboard, way too conservative. So they were calculating with 80,000 users by the end of 2021, and then they ended up with 1.3 million users. So is 1 billion another very conservative calculation, and they could even factor in more?
Of Marvel and Disney selling to loyal customers like Ben.
I've put in about $1,800 New Zealand dollars. Some of my collectibles would be easily over 5,000 US each.
If you're looking at getting into NFTs, the advice is the same as for any other investment. Do your homework and don't spend money you can't afford to lose.
And even if you're not the trading type,
You're probably looking at your car registration papers coming as an NFT, your movie ticket as an NFT. It's just growing that fast.
an innovation that may become part of our daily lives. Kristen Hall, One News.
So, very important aspects in the end of the video. The first one that the guy said is that the movie ticket is going to be an NFT. Your whatever usable in real life thing is going to be an NFT. And we have seen that in some occasions already on the Veve app, so that you could get Disney Plus from Disney Drop, and that you could have a ticket stub where you could already go to the movies with. And I think this connection with real life usability and NFT, so the ownership on the digital side, but that you can do something in the real world, in the physical world, or then later in the metaverse do something with this collectible, and that it opens doors for you. I think this is really, really big. And if you get in licensors that have these type of 1 foot in the NFT crypto virtual metaverse world and 1 foot in the real life, that could be very, very interesting use case, especially for Veve, because then the projects that have the big and broad user base are the target for those companies that want to launch these NFTs. Because obviously, if you want to launch a ticket stub for a US wide like AMC Cinema or something like that, you would go to the app with a very broad user base where you know that you would sell millions of tickets in 1 second. And Veve has that, and this news coverage helps because this reach that they can get now in the news and that they will have in other news in the future will help a lot with growing that user base very, very fast. The other aspect was what was said right in the end, that this will eventually become part of our lives in the future. So just if you still have doubts how early we are in all of that, a lot of people that watched the news on that day, they didn't know what an NFT is, and they didn't know how this could help them or how this would look like before. But now they have seen it, and they have an easy way to get to own an NFT on Veve. So I think Veve is very user and entry friendly, because I have a lot of family members that have no clue or had no clue what an NFT is, and Veve was a very smooth and very easy way to enter this NFT space without building a MetaMask wallet and then wallet address and understanding how this gets transferred. No, it's just you get into the app and you see something, hey, the statue, it even gives you Disney Plus, try to get it on a drop. If you don't get it, there is a secondary market, and then you can buy it from that. Now, that said, to the last point of my video here is a little bit of criticism, because I have been early on the app compared to other people. So I entered the app with the first Marvel comic drop, and that was a time where you could get like, I think 10 drops if you knew how to cancel out of the buy screen and just click buy again. But even if you were to wait for the green truck, you could go again and buy another comic. So you could get to manage 2 comics just waiting out the full screen. And so we got like 4 or 5 comics at the time, and then only 2. And after a while, you could get 1 and 1 in the rebound, and you got 1 and sometimes 1 on the rebound. And now you are not getting comics anymore, also because there are some comics that have very, very low edition sizes. But in general, there are so many new people on the app that have missed out on every single drop since then, because those drops are only achievable for people that are a long time in the app, that understand how it works, that have an Ethernet adapter, a good internet connection, very low ping, do a line gate and stuff like that, know exactly when to hit the rebound. So it's very, very friendly to those people. And even then, you don't get all of the drops. And I have missed out on every single comic since the Vision one, and I have missed out on a lot of other drops as well. And I think this could be frustrating to a lot of new people. And I have brought in a lot of people of my family into the app now, and they are like, okay, fuck this. I don't want to participate anymore because I don't get anything. I sit there and wait for the timer come down 5 minutes, and then also additionally 8 minutes because I told them about rebound. So they spent a lot of time and they got nothing. So I think it's time to bring out some more of the high edition drops like the Groot was, so that people can have a success experience from time to time, because the drop system is something that is very important to the whole app, I think. Also, if they always miss out, then they don't know how to act on the secondary market. So both are a little bit frustrating experience to those people. I think it is very good if you get a drop from time to time and then buy what you want and what you need on the secondary market. I think that's fair and that's okay. And I think there should be always this possibility to be able to have this success from time to time. But if you are going constantly without hitting any drop, you might as well go out of the app, because you are not willing to spend only money on the secondary market and never have this lottery feeling that you could get an ultra rare from the drop and stuff like that. So this is just a thought. This is just from my opinion. I mean, my bags are already packed. I would like to have more, but I think I have enough to be able to say, okay, what I like, I try to get a good one from the secondary market, and if I hit another drop in 10 drop is fine. Like, it's good for me. I don't need that. But new people that have nothing in the collection, they need this experience. But let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you disagree, what you think about the news coverage, and if you think that exchanges are right around the corner. I mean, you have already commented, but let me know how fast you think we could be. I usually try to be a little bit more conservative with my assessment, but maybe these 6 to 8 months until the exchanges was way too long. I agree with you people. And with that said, I am done here. I wish you all a very good start into that new year, that you already had that good start, and that we are looking forward to tomorrow's AMA with the Veve team. There are some topics to discuss, I guess, and I hope we get the answers that we want. And with that said, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great day, morning, evening, night, afternoon, and see you in the next video.